YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here today for another round. We got MLB and NBA today. I know Stu's got one NBA spot for you guys today. Joined by my guy Stu. You guys know him. How we doing, man?
I'm doing good. We had to change up the start time a little bit, get up here at 10 a.m. because as you guys know, Wednesdays are always a little bit crazy. We got day baseball pretty much all day long, starting in about 2 hours. So we wanted to get you guys the plays as soon as possible. So obviously you have all day to get those in, drop any questions you have, all that kind of stuff. And obviously, as you know, had to sneak in an NBA spot as well. Definitely some good value on the board today. But we got a nice MLB slate. We got some nice bets. Excited to keep that momentum going today.
Yeah, an absolute heater on the show, which we obviously will talk about here in a second. We got 10 of you guys in here in the first minute or so. Stu, let's, while people are joining in here, can you kind of describe to me what's happening in the NBA? Because like I said, I haven't watched anything that I should be like maybe tuning in for.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we're kind of in like back-to-back Central right now, so like a lot of these games are trash. But for me, it's really about following these bubble teams right now. I think that's like if you don't care about blowouts, and you don't care about the Lakers or not the Lakers, sorry, like the Trailblazers rebuilding and stuff like that, then focusing in on these like marquee games from like the Suns, the Pelicans, the Lakers, these teams, right, that are one of these guys is going to get left out from the playoffs, right? I mean, the Warriors, like these guys, LeBron, Curry, like the biggest names in the sport are fighting for the play-in tournament, right? Not even the seeding right now. So for me, I'm just keeping a real close look on the West Coast. And the Suns have been getting, they got all the national TV games. So I've been checking them out a lot recently as well with the big three. So if you are looking, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you're looking for some NBA tonight, I think like Cavs Suns obviously will be like a marquee game. Donovan Mitchell sat out against his former team last night in preparation for this one. So you'll see more stuff like that around this time of year. I think that one, will obviously be a marquee game. And obviously Embiid is back as well. That's the other big thing. If you didn't see last night, Embiid is back, still shooting free throws, doing the good old Embiid thing.
Yeah, I'm happy to see he's healthy. Obviously, injury career has been just everywhere with it. So obviously excited to see him back. Not excited to see him if he plays the Bucks in the playoffs. If he can be out for that. But like I said, I haven't watched a lick of NBA, dude. I love these slates, man. These Wednesday, Thursday slates where it's like 6 a.m, 7 of them at night, and it's all day, and it's great teams playing right now. You're getting mixes of high end arms with your shit arms, man. It's really nice to kind of get to this position now where you're kind of getting, first week is ace versus ace every time. Now you're starting to see like the minus 250s, the minus 200s on some of these guys because obviously you're getting some of these teams that are a little bit, a little shittier. So, yeah, I'm excited. Let's do our recap here. We got 15 of you guys in here live. I'm trying to get my tweet ready, and you get yours retweeted there as well. I will take a look at our recap from last show, which obviously went very, very well. This was, I think, our first one.
Yep, only loss for me right here. Rupert got the 8 minutes, but did not, unfortunately, get that first quarter rebound for us right here. And then Cam Thomas at plus money, surprisingly, doubled his points right here, just like we said. They only gave me up to 8, so that's as high as I could play it. But definitely cashed the plus money right here. Shout out to Cam Thomas. That guy, he's a walking bucket for us.
Yeah, he's making money. He's making us money, and that's all that matters. So I know his game is just – I would hate to be a teammate, but hey, he keeps making us money, so I'm not mad about it. Astros team total over 4.5, absolutely smashed. Ended up with like 10. Again, that one just felt weird to me, man. It just kind of felt off. I don't understand how books are looking at recency stuff, but this team is fucking stacked, man. It's stacked, and obviously they didn't get there yesterday for me. I was on them last night, and then Hader blew it in the end, which sucked. But shout out Framber again, just showing out, putting up big boy numbers, 7 2/3, and still couldn't get a win. Crazy. Austin Riley coming through with a ribby, ended up with like 5. Should have laddered that. It was on my short list of long shot options, but we can talk about those right now. Obviously, you came through with yours.
Boom, Riley Adams, the man, the myth, the legend. Baby, let's go. I was just hyping him up. I didn't know if it was going to be this quick, though. A guy like that, you never know. But first game of the year for him, gets that home start and goes absolutely out of here. So that was fun. Definitely love Riley Adams. Excited to fire that back up whenever we get a lefty again. No lefty today, so he'll be out the lineup most likely. But like I said, it's stuff like that you'll notice throughout the season. There's certain guys, whether it's a role player or something like that, we pick our spots and we go to it. And obviously a great start to the year with the long shot.
Yeah, so that cash is 3.25 units. If you guys haven't been here before, I know we're getting a lot more new faces popping in, obviously, for the MLB season. When we post long shots, we obviously don't post a unit next to it, but we play them for half a unit on almost all of them. So just so you guys kind of are aware, we've been doing it for like that the whole time we've been doing the show. So just a heads up. So that would be a 3.25 unit win there for us. And even with, I think, a 6-unit day in the show, I feel like we were kind of cheated, bro. Like, I felt so good on this for a long time. I told you before the show, I'm like, I almost gave up on it because Tatis looked like dog shit for 3 ABs. Devers had runners on third base twice with less than 2 outs and got walked, and I believe had a fly out or a pop out. So it was really, really tough to watch, especially in a game when they scored that many runs that Devers was not a part of it. It was all Jarren Duran. Shout out Jarren Duran, putting on a clinic today. He's been on fire. So, yeah, Devers missing was disgusting because obviously Tatis comes up in the 7th inning and hits a 450-foot nuke. That would have cashed us this because Tucker ended up hitting 2 bombs that day. So that one was tough. Again, yeah, it's one where we ended up cashing a 6-unit day, right? We ended up going 3-0 or 2-0 on the straight bets, on my straight bets, and then obviously Stu hit his and I missed mine. But fuck, dude, I thought we were getting that one. I really did. I thought that was going to be a nice 15-1 to start the year.
Yeah. I mean, the double long shot would have obviously been a crazy kickoff to MLB, but two opportunities on third, scoring all those runs. It's one of the worst feelings, knowing the whole crew obviously, got, cashed those tickets and not Devers, but that's how it is sometimes, unfortunately. What I always like to say is, that means, you're hot right now. You got to strike while the iron's hot. You were right off. So hopefully this is the show where Devers or whoever it is pays us back for that loss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stu, talk to us about some NBA. We'll get that. I don't want to say get it out of the way, but I'll get it out of the way with getting to the MLB stuff here. Best game on the slate that you're looking forward to, or your one that you're looking forward to bet, and then we'll get through your NBA play and we'll get into MLB.
Sounds good. I mean, yeah, we got some ugly ones today. Trailblazers Hornets is probably the game I'll have the most bets in by the end of the day. Probably going back to Rupert in the first quarter, Aiden in some way, Scoot assists in some way. There's a lot of fun stuff in that one. I'll personally have the Lakers Wizards up big screen. Obviously, I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then, like I said earlier, for some real basketball action, I think it's Suns Cavs. I think that's like the actual good like playoff environment kind of game of the night.
Okay. Let's get into your play then. We got 17 of you guys in here live. Hit that like button. Last show we got over 30, which is huge, guys. Appreciate you. Make sure you're hitting that like button for Stu's NBA spot here.
Yes, we're going back to a familiar face right here. We got Rui Hachimura over 13.5 points. We got minus 115 right now. See on Rivers 365 and then minus 120 on MGM as well as the second best price out here. I was surprised we got this 13.5 to be completely honest with you guys. Obviously, Rui Hachimura has been clearing this number with regularity. To me, 14 has kind of been his magic number over these last couple games. But what I really like, obviously, is you get a little bit of added motivation against a Washington squad that obviously drafted you, developed you for a couple of years, and then kicked you out, right? I mean, they chose Denny over him. Denny got the contract. Obviously, Rui's not complaining. He's out in LA doing pretty good right now, but there's always that added extra motivation when you go against the team, that not only drafted you, that then decided you were not good enough to play on their garbage team and that you needed to go somewhere else. You were not worthy of development, right? So for me, there's obviously emotions attached to this game. And what I like back-to-back, right? Tired legs on both sides right here. Anthony Davis, LeBron James. I mean, Ham said they were going to play. I think he says that every game. I don't know what his accuracy. I wish we had the coach speak index for the NBA, but I have a feeling he's a liar as someone that reads these NBA injury reports all the time. So I like this as just a secondary third option either way, because Washington currently has no centers. So if Anthony Davis does suit up, it's going to be like 4 guys running to him every single time he touches the ball. The defense is just going to completely have to collapse. And then Rui's just been knocking down those spot up baskets. He's good in transition, all those kind of things that you want to take advantage of against a weak Washington defense, right? And honestly, Washington has one good defender. His name's Denny Avia. He's not going to get the Rui assignment, right? In a game with LeBron James, D'Lo, Reeves, all these guys that can go absolutely nuclear, even assuming, LeBron or one of them doesn't play, Rui still should be getting some very good coverage for most of this game. Kuzma's probably out. It's getting ugly. The backups are like the Vucevic guy I told you about the other game, who actually had a solid showing, but not really a defender. He's a big stretch four. That's what you can think of him as. And then it's going to be like Patrick Baldwin Jr. off the bench, right? So for me, I love the matchups we have with Rui right here. It's a good pace spot. And then it doesn't hurt that you have a little added extra motivation against a team that you spent, a good part of your career, a good majority of your career with. So I think everything lines up. 14 is the magic number for me. Definitely think Rui has a very nice game with or without any added injury report stuff tonight.
Yeah, no, you always like that extra motivation on games like this where, people like Washington is pretty much not going to care that much, right? I mean, it's just development. And I mean, I know you said that they gave the contract to Denny. I mean, they're probably not hurting themselves over that either, So they're probably feeling pretty damn good about that, as he's been just kind of showing out over the season here. So I think both guys are going to be happy, but obviously when you have that where you get a little bit kicked to the curb, that motivation is huge in a game like this where, the other team really probably doesn't care that much.
Yeah, man. Hey, Lakers care, right? They're playing for the playoffs. Wizards don't care. It's like one of those things where maybe the Wizards care a little bit more when you're playing your former teammate on the other side as well. Wizards have been playing close games every day. Who know it only took them to have 50 losses for them to actually get a little bit motivated. But definitely agree with that. Super excited. I've been a Rui fan forever. So hopefully he cashes this ticket and the Lakers still somehow lose this game. That would be fun.
Awesome. We got 23 of you guys in here live with us. Hit that like button. We're getting to MLB. I know that's why you're here with these early bets. We got early games coming at you. Stu, looking at this slate, I know you got to play an NBA, but you do have a play in MLB as well. So your first one of the year on a straight bet. What game is sticking out to you a little bit today?
I mean, this feels like a cheat code. When we complained last year about the quality of day games, right? And then I opened my ESPN app and I see we start the day. We got Burns versus Reagans going. I mean, that's ace versus ace, right? That's not freaking Reds Angels mid-season opening day, right? That's 2 awesome starters right there. So for me, I'm definitely tuned in at 1. I'm super excited. Like I said on Twitter, I got a VSiN hit at 3:45. So I'm going to be watching baseball until then. And I definitely think that Royals-Orioles game with the pitching duel is going to be what I'm watching.
Yeah, no, I like quite a few of these games today. I think I kind of like the Texas game early if I had taken an early game. But I also want to kind of see Kyle Harrison in that matchup with the Dodgers. I want to see if he can step up to that plate and go at him because you don't have the park. You're not playing in San Francisco here. You're going to LA with probably the hottest hitter on the planet in Mookie Betts, and obviously Freddie Freeman. This team is going to be tough, man. And I think that this is a good step up for them because the first game, I don't remember who they played, but it was obviously not anywhere close to the Dodgers. And there's a lot of hype on the dude. So I'm curious if he can step up in LA in this spot. I'm playing him in fantasy this week. So I'm hoping the Dodgers put up like 14 in 2 innings and just nuke them. Or at least he has like 8 walks because we have seen that issue pop up. But there's a lot of hype on this dude. So I'm really curious to see how he does in a matchup where he doesn't get to, let that ball fly 400 feet and be an out,
Yeah, 100%. That's a good matchup right there. And I mean, that's one that has like full season long implications, right? I mean, we're going to see it a couple times this year. So for me, I always like to have that, like initial scouting report, right? You want to see it with your own eyes because these guys are going to match up again later in the season. So definitely agree that's going to be a good one. And like you said, honestly, a lot of good options on today's slate.
Yes, sir. I will go first. Since I have two MLB plays, so I haven't even given you guys one yet. But we got 30 of you guys in here live for us. Again, hit that like button, drop a comment, guys. We'll get you any of your questions, and hopefully we'll get you guys some winners today. So I'm going to start out here in the Rangers. I'm going to go Rangers first 5 money line here in this matchup. We're getting Rangers on the road against Tampa Bay. Eovaldi versus Savale. I really like Eovaldi today. I really do, and I want to play a lot of his props, but I also really like this Rangers lineup, man. I think that last night they got shut down a little bit there. When you get down early, right, they gave up a 4 spot on Heaney. The Rays just nuked Heaney there for a 4 spot, but I don't think Heaney's that good, right? He's out there. It's either a strikeout or it's going to be hit about 110 off the bat. So when you have a guy like that, I don't know. I'm not a huge Heaney guy. Usually I'll only bet him for some ladders just because, that's the type of pitcher that he is. But I think the wrong team is favored here. We're seeing a minus 120 on the Rays in this spot. Eovaldi has absolutely dominated this team. Eovaldi's stuff is fantastic. Obviously, electric stuff looked really good. 80-plus pitches in this first outing. I know Savale had a good outing as well, but you look at Eovaldi doing against the Cubs. We're seeing what the Cubs are doing. That lineup is hot. See, Savale went against the Blue Jays, who might be the worst offense in baseball right now. Like, actually, dude, they're just cold as hell. Put them with, like, the A's right now in terms of OPS right now. They're getting shoved on by pretty much everybody throwing against them. We got no-node. Framber gave up 1 run through 7 2/3, right? Or actually, he gave up no runs in 7 2/3 innings, right? So that's a team that's cold right now. So take that into consideration here as well. But with how good that he's been and how bad the Rays have been, you look at this lineup. This is not a good lineup. Outside of the top 3 guys in the order, right? Yandy, Arozarena. Who else are you worried about here? I'm not worried about Brandon Lau. What? Dude, that dude's a strikeout waiting to happen every time he comes up. I'm looking at this lineup. I'm like, who is going to give him issues? Like, I get it. He's had home run power problems in the past, but Paredes had a big game yesterday. He's a swing and miss dude. Now you're going to run 100 on him, right? But Palacios, Ramirez is good against lefties, not against righties. Rortvedt got cut from the Yankees or traded from the Yankees. Carabello, I'm not worried about him either. Siri, he's out there for his defense, right? That's like 2 full innings worth of just kind of free outs outside of when you got the Diaz and Arozarena on the top. Also, let's look at – I don't look at this a ton, but batter versus pitcher splits, when I start seeing 20-plus at-bats, you're getting a real sample here, right? Yandy, 3 for 21 career, batting $140. You go down the list. Paredes, the guy who had home runs yesterday, 1 for 10, 5 Ks. Right, you go down. Harold Ramirez, 0 for 3. You go down. Ahmad Rosario, 2 for 10 or 2 for 11. Arozarena, 4 for 21 with 9 Ks. Right, I mean, you're getting real big boy sample sizes in here against a guy. I really like Eovaldi today. I know there's a lot of aces on the mound. I think this game's going to go overlooked because people want to bet on the big names. And you saw Corbin Burns, you saw Reagans go crazy in their first matchup. I think this is a great spot for Eovaldi. I think the matchup's great. But also, that Rangers lineup, bro, I just saw it come out with Langford in the 3 now. It's a beautiful lineup, man. I mean, I'm looking at Semien, Seager, Langford. Then you're going to Garcia. Dude, you're getting – oh, man, I think I already just blocked it in right now at minus 110. I think this should flip here before a game starts.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I mean, there's, like you said, there's no better offense you want to trust in the Rangers, right? I mean, they were one of our favorite first 5 teams last season for a reason. And like you mentioned, obviously, Eovaldi's the guy I think is kind of slept on in the grand scheme of things right now. That's a guy that, for me, I had a lot in best ball just because he was falling to the end of those drafts. And I get like the age is a concern, but I mean, he's a baller, right? And he has been for a while. So I like this spot a lot. I like backing the Rangers early, definitely at that plus 100 on FanDuel as well.
Yeah, I just checked over there. It is officially there, so I'll take that for sure. I usually only use FanDuel or DK for the line just because they're obviously a lot more used than others, right? Not all of us have Bet365 for those. They're probably like plus 230 over there, right? So got to make sure we get the right ones there. Tyrone, welcome back, my guy. Good to see you in here. But yeah, I think this Rangers line is it's just weird, man. I get it. I get it that they won last night, right? Paredes looked good. Eflin is good though, guys. Like Eflin is a good pitcher. Like awful fantasy pitcher, but he's a good real life pitcher. He gets the job done. Like 2Ks, 6 1/3, just keeps the ball on the ground. Really boring pitcher, but dude gets the job done. So I will kick it over to you, Stu, for your one MLB spot here. 35 of you guys in here. Hit that like button, guys. Again, if you have any questions, we've already looked through the slate already on this whole entire MLB slate, all up and down here. So if you have any questions on any bets that you're thinking about, any spots that you like, drop them in the comments. We'll get to them. Stu, going to my Brewers here.
I know. Going to your Brewers with the former National, Joe Ross, under 5.5 strikeouts, making his first start in over 2 years. A guy that has battled a ton of injuries. Like I said, I mean, Joe Ross is I hate betting his under because I've met him. He's a great dude, like clubhouse leader. Like I'm a big fan of Joe Ross in general, but man, I was shocked to see 5.5 is the strikeout number. And this is from someone that has pretty much watched every professional start of his career, right? Like, once again, this is a guy, a heavy sinker pitcher, right? He relies on the ground ball. He relies on the soft contact. He's never really been like a K artist or anything like that, So you go over to Baseball Savant just to make sure that the stats are backing up what the eye test is seeing, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, 50th percentile K is nice, but 40th percentile whiff and 34th percentile chase sounds a lot like the Joe Ross I know. He's not a guy that's out there angling for swings and misses. He's not trying to K guys. He's trying to get out the inning as fast as possible, induce that soft contact, and keep it going. But like I said, once again, there are a lot of roadblocks here. This is a guy that hasn't pitched in over 2 years. The control has never been perfect. I mean, can we expect like a low pitch count in those first couple innings, right? I feel like this is a guy that you're going to have to find your command again. You're going to have to, I get spring training is spring training, but you're on a big league mound going to get some real legit hitters, right? And that's always different. And the other thing too, is this is the first start of the year, right? This season is a trek. It's a marathon. I have a really hard time seeing a guy that hasn't pitched this consistently on a major league mound coming out the gate and going over 5 innings. Like this feels like a situation where if he beats me, he's beating me through extreme efficiency, right? We're getting a lot of Ks within, that 5 inning mark, but he's never been a K per inning guy in his career, which has me confused about why this number is right here. I think at the end of the day, from everything I've seen, it's matchup, right? Obviously, this is one of the best strikeout matchups last season. A lot of people are still heavily, using that data. And then the offense has not been impressive from the first couple games we've seen so far. But I think this is a good bounce back opportunity. I think it's a good chance for them to get going. I love Joe Ross. I'm always rooting for the guy, but I just don't understand why we're getting a 5.5 number. I expected maybe, 4.5, something in that range. I just think this is a tick too high for a guy that hasn't pitched in so long, right? I think this is just a little bit of a high ask right here, and I'm very comfortable taking under 5.5 Ks as my first non-home run bet of the season on Pass the Prop.
Yes, sir. Hey, I get it too, and my thing is I just don't know why it's there. That's the only thing that concerns me. It's like really, you're gonna open at 5? Like really? Like the thing is, and the guys that are throwing for the Brewers these last couple games, they have good stuff. Like Junis had good stuff, just had control issues, right? Thing is, Twins chase so much, but yeah. I don't think Joe Ross wants to really strike you out. Like that's not really his MO. So it's like that's the thing that's kind of in the back of my head is kind of, he's not trying to do it. He's not like a strider. He's not like trying to strike every time you come up. I'm trying to strike you out, right? Yeah. He's just trying to get through innings. He's trying to eat up innings as a fifth guy, right? And that's kind of where I'm kind of a little bit off on this one as well.
Yeah, it's the exact thing I was saying. Like he worked with Anibal Sanchez for a couple of years in DC when he was injured and when he was fighting for that last starter spot. And I think that mentality transferred a lot of just get those grind. You're a fifth starter, grind those outs, limit contact, and get out of there. Like you said, we're not gunning for the Ks, even if the other team does happen to strike out a lot in general. So definitely like the spot right here. Hoping Joe Ross starts us off with a cash.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to go to a different type of play for a regular straight bet. I'm going to straight bet AJ Puck today to record a win at plus 320. Usually I try to keep my straight bets, not plus 300, but I'm playing it. I'm going to play it today. I think this line is absolutely absurd. This is on DraftKings. I don't get it. Miami's favorite, right? And I get it in kind of some way. You think that he's probably getting out early and not going to get through enough time. But Puck has shown he's got good enough stuff to play, right? He's got good enough stuff to play at this level and has enough to get missed bats, right? Which is something that's really tough for you to work with, right? It's tough for these Angels guys. It's going to be tough to make contact on this guy. But also, you have the same type of pitcher on the other side who has proven to not be able to do it, right? Patrick Sandoval walks more dudes than AJ Puck by a lot. I bet on Patrick Sandoval more than anybody probably should in their life. Except I used to bet on his strikeouts. Now I just bet on his over walks, right? Now it just kind of changed my spot. But I don't trust Sandoval at all, right? The only thing is we have a Marlins team who doesn't hit lefties particularly well. But I do like Josh Bell at the top of this lineup. I love Arias against everybody. The lineup they came out with today is pretty good. I kind of like their top 5 guys in this lineup. And then you got Tim Anderson there, who they brought in Berger and Anderson to do this, right? To be able to hit left-handed pitching. They couldn't hit it last year, right? You got Jazz from the left side, and you had Jesus Sanchez from the left side. A lot of their big power guys were all lefties, and they just absolutely so dreadful against lefties. Now we got some righties in there that can mix it up a little bit, and obviously Josh Bell being good from the right side is, at least power-wise, is something that we like to see. So I think the lineup-wise, I trust that side a little bit more. I know Mike Trout is on another planet right now, and I get that. But what else am I worried about in that lineup, right? Taylor Ward has started out pretty slow outside of one home run. Drury, swing and miss rate is through the roof, right? Rengifo at the top. Aaron Hicks, really? Right? This isn't 10 years ago, bro. Aaron Hicks is not good, and you're batting him in the 2. You got Miguel Sano. You could have bases loaded, nobody else. I don't think he's driving in a run. This dude is a swinging miss every time, right? And when you have a guy like this who's got the swing and miss stuff, I think he has the stuff to play in this spot, right? Joe Adell still has to prove it at the big league level. Zach Nato's just in there to make contact and get on base, right? Outside of Trout, you don't have that Ohtani there anymore. You don't have that dude to really hold him back there, right? To kind of keep you to not throw to him, right? Like with Ohtani, you couldn't just pass up Trout. I think Puck has us up to beat these guys. Everybody's going to be off of him because of how awful he was in the first round. But we talked about it. I said it on here. Everybody's betting AJ Puck. So I'm not going to bet AJ Puck in game 1. Everybody's going to be off of him today. I'm fine to jump on that wagon now, right? I'm fine. If you're going to give me this price, this is ridiculous. I think this is a crazy price for a team that it's a straight up pick 'em. It's a straight up pick 'em. So it's pretty much, hey, AJ Puck, can you get me 15 outs? Can you get me 15 outs? And at plus 320, I'm willing to try, and I'm willing to guess that he is going to do it for me. So shout out AJ Puck. Let's get it, baby.
Yeah, I tried to guess the odds for this, and I was around like 225, especially with Sandoval on the other side. Sandoval having better odds to win is kind of shocking to me. Obviously, I think your breakdown was fantastic right there. And like you said, Puck's coming off a couple, a rough walk outing. He couldn't have any control. But you look back, the career walk rate is really good, right? We have a lot of opportunity there. So I see you're pulling it up on DK for
Flair. I'm on my DraftKings here, and Puck sitting there at plus 320 still.
Can't believe it's worse than Sandoval by that much. I know it's an innings thing, but like you said, 5 innings, man. Get us there, get the job done. I really like this at the price of plus 320 right here.
Yeah, stretched out too. I mean, even though he sucked. Yeah. Dude still got like 60 pitches, right? So I think he'll be able to compete in this one and a little bit better spot here as well. Plus money, Bob. We rolling 2 plus monies. I'm playing a plus 320 as a straight bet here. So I didn't know if you were in here, but we'll be rolling with some big boy plus money today. So in New York. Okay. I know this is Illinois, DK, so that's the only one I really use. So good spot. I like it. Plus money. I'll roll with it. So, Stu, let's get a quick recap. We're at 30 minutes, man. We're kind of getting this down to a T, right? And NFL, we go for an hour, but we got this down to like that 30-minute time quick. So we got it down. So let's do our recap here, and I'll start with yours.
Sounds good. Our one NBA spot of the day, we got Rui Hachimura over 13.5 points. And then we went over first non-home run spot of the year for MLB. We're going Joe Ross under 5.5 strikeouts, minus 110.
Beautiful. I'll be on the Texas Rangers first 5 plus 100 on FanDuel, and then moving over to DraftKings puck to record a win at plus 320. I would take this to 250. Truly, I would take this to plus 250. I think it's a good spot anywhere there. Playing it for a half unit. Stu, you hit your long shot last time. I was really damn close. What do you got for your long shot today, Stu?
I'm going Byron Buxton to hit a homer. That's what I got. So not going to blow you out the department in odds. 370 is the best price on Bet Rivers right now. And then we got 320 over on MGM as the second best price. For me, I talked about it earlier. It's really the same kind of philosophy with even the last home run pick, in theory, of we have a not, I don't want to say soft tossing, but a contact forward, put the barrel on the bat kind of pitcher going against a guy that when he does make contact with the ball, it goes 5,000 feet. And it's been a rough start to the season so far, right? I mean, I always like having the opportunity to kind of break out of that slump. The pricing isn't, for a first home run, I was hoping maybe I could even get in the fours, but they're obviously not going to let you do something like that. But I think this is a good price, to be completely honest, right here. So definitely took him to go yard right here. I like the matchup against Ross, a lot of unknown. Who knows, how long he even makes it in that game. But I think we get a couple opportunities here. Definitely, want him to hit one 400 feet right down the middle, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that spot. Buxton did have a couple hard hit balls yesterday. I know it didn't show up in the box score, but he got robbed of a nice line drive hit that he probably hit 110 off the bat. So, by Mr. Dunn playing third base yesterday. I watched that. I'm like, wow, that was impressive. I'm going to be going to Christian Walker for my long shot at plus 500 on FanDuel. I'm going to have him get 2 RBIs in this spot at plus 500. Obviously, you guys know I bet on Diamondbacks twice now in the 2 games against the Yankees. Feeling pretty damn good about it. They've been doing good for me, no matter really who the pitcher is. But if I'm going to take a guy, I'm going to be taking Mr. Christian Walker in a matchup with a lefty all day. All day, I'm going to take him with a matchup with a lefty. So far this year, I know it's a super, super small sample size. He's got 8 ABs. He's batting 375 with 2 RBIs in there with a 500 slugging, 944 OPS, over 1,000 OPS at home so far this year. Just kind of looking at his numbers as well. Already has a home run against Rodon in his career in his first 12, I think it's 11 at bats. He already has a homer. He's 3 for 11 with a bomb. I think this is a safer way to play it than a home run. I know the home run line is like 300 something, so I'm going to get a little better price for him to drive in another guy when the lineup is rolling the way it is right now. I think this is a better play than his home run. Even if he does hit a home run, I get beat because he hits a solo. I know he is going to have chances with guys on base. Ketel Marte has been awesome. Played him last night. He looked fantastic. Even having the 9-hole, having Perdomo, man. It's just you can roll over that lineup. They scored all those runs last night without Corbin Carroll in the lineup. Blaze Alexander's been great. This is just a really deep lineup. Yeah, Gurriel behind you or in front of you, who's been on one as well. Eugenio Suarez behind you, right? There's no break. Right. And you can't just pitch around Christian Walker just because he's been hot. Because guess what? Lourdes Gurriel before yesterday was probably one of the hottest hitters in baseball. Right. Eugenio Suarez has been a notorious lefty killer. So this is a great lineup. I think that with the speed on the top here, I think Christian Walker has himself another good game. And when you're rolling like this and you're kind of in that homestand that they are right now, this is the time I want to bet on them. And sign me up for some Christian Walker. Plus 500 is pretty wild. You're on mute there, buddy.
That's crazy. Haven't done that in a while. My bad. I was going to say, I like the look a lot. And what I really like about it, you kind of mentioned it, is you have different paths, right? Because everyone knows that game where a guy like Christian Walker hits the deep double and you're like, come on, we're 5 feet away from the homer, right? But you can cash in multiple, in tons of different ways on this kind of bets, including, like you said, just hitting a bomb, right? With how good who's in front of him have been at getting on base so far, right? You definitely want to take advantage. So love Walker. This is a guy that's done some good, long shot damage for us in the past. Definitely liking the 2 RBI look here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, for sure. Yeah, Erica, I do expect quite a few. It is awful here right now. I'm looking outside. it's not snowing anymore, but it was. I think the Chicago one's going to be tough. That Braves game, I think is going to be brutal. But I don't think it's going to be like bad enough where they wouldn't play though. Like it's up to your grounds crew if you want to. You know, the teams want to. They have to kind of agree to do it. You know what I mean? I would ask Stu for that Philly game. I would assume that one's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, we have more Philly guys in the chat. Maybe they can help us out a little better. But I'm on the East Coast, DC, Baltimore. I was looking at it's not looking great over here, right? The weather, there's some lightning stuff in the next couple hours, but all you can really do, I guess, is search those notifications and see what's up because they do it kind of random at times. So just have to stay tapped into that.
Yeah, that game is just going to be weird too. That's why I don't want to bet on Burns really much, because again, Reagans has the injury history. Baltimore is probably going to be safe now that they put some money into this dude, and obviously the Capitals. So I know Burns is a dog and wants to be out there, but he was also pitching in Milwaukee. Like you get the roof anytime you want. Like this is tough because early in the season it's going to be brutal out there. But I mean, he has thrown cold weather games. I'm not worried about his effectiveness. I'm worried about the length because of the weather. So I probably won't have bets on Burns just for that specific reason. But I think it's definitely a good question to ask. I would be sticking to, I think all the games that I'm picking are mostly dome spots.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I just wish we had better answers. At the end of the day, we just got to stay locked in as possible. And yeah, Wave, I agree. I said Baltimore's the game I'm going to be watching, probably not betting for that exact reason. A lot of factors can be at play with the rain.
I'm going to just look at. I'll look at what Roth is kind of saying about those. He said that Baltimore game. Yeah, Detroit, fuck the Tigers, bro. That team sucks. Fuck them. Even I don't care if they win every game. I still will forever hate that team forever. It says Baltimore's an orange. A lot of rain in the morning and early afternoon. They could move it, but they said very unlikely to play on time. So
okay.
There's maybe a pushback there. All right, Stu, what do you got for the people here? We got 30 people still here, 37 minutes later. What do you got for them?
Yeah, leave a like while you're still here. I will have more NBA stuff over on Twitter throughout the rest of the day, maybe an MLB look as well. I was hoping to play my guy O'Neal Cruz against a righty finally, but the books were ready. Those lines were juiced, so I don't know if that's going to be the case. But you can go follow me on Twitter and find out. I will be on VSiN at 3:45 as well tonight. So if you like the radio, Sirius XM, iHeartRadio, all that sports betting, go check out VSiN. I will be on there speaking about probably NBA props later tonight. Got another one locked and loaded that I haven't talked about quite yet. So good day, Ben, right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the picks on today's slate. Leave a like if you haven't already. And if you weren't here with us live, you're just tuning in now, drop a question. Like I said, we're here 24/7. That's what we do. We're trying to help you guys win some money. So never too late. Drop your questions if you have them. And yeah, hopefully we win some money today.
Yeah, I feel pretty good after last show. Obviously, hitting the long shot, being close on the other. So I think we got good spots. Like I said, it's a little different for me today. All plus money spots, plus 500, plus 320 in there. I definitely think we're on the right track here to start the season. The Tigers will not play today. There's absolutely no chance they play today. I saw that it's worse today than it was yesterday, so I'm not even looking at that game. So, yeah. Hopefully, we'll be able to continue to cash with you guys, and we'll be back Friday. I believe the games start later on Friday because it's that Thursday's the travel. They don't start usually till later, so I think we should be good playing at our normal noon time for Friday. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back, like I said, Friday at noon to cash some more tickets with you. So have a good one. Hit that like button on the way out, and see you Friday.